Let's do this.
Hey guys, Corrupt here with a quick review of the Steelseries Rival 310 CSGO Howl Edition. So this is just the box, obviously. I currently am using the mouse. I'll do close-ups on it in a second, but just to show you guys the box real quick and what it looks like. Flip from side to side. It is a gorgeous mouse, and not only does it just look good, it is really good. I love using it. I recently just got it. I think I paid a little over $60 through Walmart with my discount. So I paid a little bit more than what it's going for on Steelseries' website, but I mean, it is what it is. So I know all the tech specs are going to be on the back of the box, and I know you guys can stop and read it, but I'm going to go over it real quick, that way you guys can just listen to the video as well. So it's got a custom TrueMove 3 optical sensor, which goes up to 1200 DPI or CPI. It has a split trigger button, like breakdown. So instead of it being, let's see if I have another mouse. So you see how it's split instead of being one single unit? Here, I actually do have my Rival 110, if I have it handy. Okay, so sorry for taking a minute there. So just to show you, this is the 110. This is a unibody, or not split trigger, obviously. So this one is split. You can see if I can do proper placement. So this one obviously is not split. This is split. Split meaning that the trigger, or the buttons rather, are separate from the actual body of the mouse. So I guess it's better for durability purposes, but I don't know. I've never had one of these break on me. I used to have a Razer Death Adder 3.5G mouse or something that was breaking, but it didn't break like per se. Like it was just cracked around like the side, say like over here, but it didn't affect like how you're able to click it or anything. But so where did I leave off? So split trigger, ergonomic design for extreme comfort and performance. So obviously it's a right-handed mouse. I know it might be flipped on my camera, but it is a right-handed mouse, obviously, because this side has the buttons. That's where your thumb goes. That way it fits better. And it has this rounded off part on the right side, as well as like some nice cushiony grips here. It's better to fit large hands. I don't have the actual size of my hands, but I believe on here, if I go further, it should have the length of the mouse.
3 hours later.
It does not, but inside the box. So I just show inside the box as well. So this is why it comes in, rise up with the Steelseries logo. Really nice. Inside here, this is where the mouse would inside here, this is where the mouse actually comes out of, obviously, because the cut hole is the shape of the mouse. It's very nice foam. It was really nicely packaged. And inside here is the user manual, but this, I'm assuming, just show you guys, Razer Steelseries Rival 310. So it's the product information guide. So this isn't just a user guide. It goes over the Steelseries engine, which is the software that you use to control the CPI, the colors of the LEDs, to change the different modes, and as well as some other macros and other things.
A few moments later.
So this thing does not have the actual specs of the width and length of the mouse. However, I will look them up right now.
More moments later.
Okay, so according to Tom's guide, post that's on there, somebody reviewed it. So going downward lengthwise, it's approximately 4.9 inches in length. So from side to side, I guess at its thickest point right around here, it's about 2.4 inches in width, and I guess in depth you may as well call it, or height, it's about 1.7 inches in height. So it's a decent sized mouse. It's larger than most of what I've used up to this point. Maybe it's slightly smaller than the Razer Death Adder that I've used, but I don't know. It's been years since I've used that. But regardless of all that, I will go over the Steelseries engine software with you guys real quick. It's really simple software. I love using it. I've been using it for a couple years now. with other SteelSeries products, being the SteelSeries Apex 100 keyboard, and then the SteelSeries Rival 3, not 300, the 100 and the 110. And now it's just another. This is my fourth SteelSeries product that I've had. I love it. But without further ado, I'm going to show you guys, close-ups of this shot from my phone. That way you guys can get a true view of how this looks, because this looks sick. Okay, so for some dumb reason, I apologize, I have to record my screen instead of using a screen recorder like NVIDIA Shadow Player or whatever you want to call it. For some reason it's not working on my desktop, so I'll just record it from my phone. So obviously I have the 110, it's not connected. The 310 is what I currently use. Obviously this is what we're reviewing here. So just to show you how awesome this software is. So this basically just shows you everything that you can modify the mouse between all the buttons, between the left click, right click, scroll wheel, up and down, and the side buttons, LMB 4 or 5, whatever it's called. But so obviously, like I said, if you want to change it, say okay, you want the side button, you can either click it, or you can like click it here to the side where it shows like the B5 pointing to it, or the B6 or B4 rather, or you can just click it up right here. So say okay, I want that to change it to like a letter on my keyboard, like let's say Q. We'll go keyboard buttons, go to alphanumeric, or yeah, actually I just say that right through. So say okay, you want it as Q, say to switch a weapon in CSGO or something, Q. And also, so you can have it play once, or you can play a number of times. Say you want to do it like 3 or 5 times. You can say play n times, you input like how many times here. And so this would be, say you want it 5 times, put in 5 there. And then under the millisecond is how many times or how frequent it clicks. Like say in between each click there's 15 milliseconds of a delay, I guess. So there's that. Then repeat while pressed, obviously. Click that, so however long you have it pressed, it does it click every interval of whatever time you put. In this case it's 15 milliseconds. And then toggle auto repeat, so this does it obviously if you click it once, it'll keep going every set interval time, and once you click it again it'll stop. And as for toggle hold, I'm not really sure. I'm assuming once you click it, it just holds on to it until you unclick it again at like no set interval. It just holds it. It's not a repeated press, it's just a single press. But in this case I'm just gonna set everything back to default because I don't use any macros or anything crazy out of here. And which, speaking of macros, just to show you guys how to set one up before I go into the other details with the CPI or DPI, whichever you want to call it. I'm going to show you guys. So the macro editor right here, you click this and then you'll be able to like do set key presses, like say okay, I want like a quick scope, so you click start here, you like right click, left click, and then stop. And then sorry if I'm blurry or it goes in and out, I'm doing it from my phone. So this should be like just a random like quick scope macro, like, or not even quick scope, just you scope in, you shoot, and that's it. Like all you do, you click start, you type in, or not type in, you do whatever action you want to do, whether it's a keyboard press, whether it's a mouse press, or anything else that you can think of, like scrolling. You would do it through here, you click it after you press start, and once you're set you can click stop, and you can actually modify each individual thing. Like say okay, like for this one 78 milliseconds, you can change it, if I can get focused, okay, there we go. So you can change it to, I don't know, say 90 milliseconds, or say okay, you want to delete this or remove, like say just the initial press, and then it bleeds it out just like that. And that's pretty much it for that. And I'm not going to save this because this is just a random little guide. And now to the more important things. So the LEDs on both the scroll wheel and the logo, they are like, you can have them the same, or you can change them individually. Like say, okay, you want your scroll wheel to be, I don't know, pink, and you want the logo itself to be, I don't know, let's do color shift, and we'll do it, I guess, their default. And that will change it so that the LED on the scroll wheel will stay the same, but the logo will actually change. So it's very versatile, I guess you may as well call it. You can change it to anything you want. You can have it how I have it. So I have it set to trigger, and what trigger does, basically every time you click, it'll change the color at like a set speed. So I have it set to every time I click my left mouse button. Well, I believe it works for either your left mouse button or any other button. I'm gonna try that real quick. So it changes, so it's static at red, that's its rest color, and then every time I click, it goes to the active color, which is a yellow, because I want to make it look like I'm almost like firing something. And just to show you, so say, okay, left click, it's hard to tell because of the light, and I apologize, but try to get it a little darker. There we go, you'll be able to see it. So you see how every time I click, it changes color, which I find to be pretty awesome. Just to see, so it doesn't work with these side buttons, so I guess, hence trigger, you obviously gotta click or pull the trigger to utilize that, I guess. And also, since I actually just clicked on this, this is how you change your, wow, I'm way too fast. Oh, jeez, okay, a little bit's better. So this is how you change the DPI or the CPI of the mouse. So it goes in intervals of 100. I usually keep mine at right around 1000 to 900. I never switch to another profile, but if you wanted to say, okay, your average, like just aiming down like typical sights or whatever, is like 900, but say you're sniping and you want it higher or lower, and obviously you can change this to something different and on the fly. So this is how it is at 900, and once you click this button, by default you can change that button to anything else as well. But say, okay, you want to switch to 1600 on the fly, it'll switch just by the click of the button. It makes it, you know, quicker ultimately, but it all depends on the setting that you have. And the rest of the settings I don't really mess with, but I guess for some people that might want to mess with it, it's important. So the acceleration / deceleration, this is basically like, say after a certain point of like moving your mouse around the screen, how fast it progressively goes. So say you have it set at 900, but say after like moving from side to side for, I guess, a couple inches on your screen or whatever, I don't know what the proper terminology for that is. Like say you wanted to accelerate after a certain point, you would obviously crank it up a little bit, and basically the graph shows you like, oh, you know, after the faster you scroll or the faster you move your mouse, the faster it'll go and continue in a set direction, which it's not good at all in my opinion for whatever you can use it for. It's especially for games you want accurate input, but I digress. So this is your angle snapping, so I guess this is more for like if you're doing artwork or whatever. I've never used this in game. Basically, like say, okay, you want it to snap to certain angles, you only want it to go up, down, left, or right, or diagonal for that matter, like this one is. It's much easier to do. You don't have to be like a really steady hand to keep it going straight at that, but you know, it's not good for anything else. For this, it's basically freehand, you know, you're not doing anything guided or anything. This is basically just for, like, say you're doing artwork and you want straight lines with, like, a brush or whatever. Much easier to do it that way. And your polling rate, that's just how fast the input of the mouse refreshes, or how fast, I guess, your mouse gives output to, or input to your computer, for that matter. So I always keep that at 1000 because, you know, it deals with latency and all that. But anyhow, so that pretty much sums up the video. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment below or contact me. I believe YouTube has like a messaging service now, or my Twitter is posted on my YouTube as well if you guys want to at me or anything. That works too. Anyway, But if you guys have any other questions, like I said, please feel free to contact me. I'll answer everybody. And if you guys can, also at the same time, if you guys can subscribe and like the video if you liked it, or obviously dislike it if you didn't, I understand either way. But without further ado, that pretty much sums up the video. I greatly appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope that it was helpful to you guys, or if you guys were debating on whether you wanted the mouse but weren't really sure if you liked the design or anything. Hopefully this clarified things for you. So anyhow, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.